Hello again with another Arena Cube draft going to be about to take place here. So let's just top right into it. Because we're going to have to do some waiting to get some participants willing to be taken down. Hopefully. Hi, my name is Lucas Dre for Twitch channel purposes. And for our YouTube, this is a representation of Red Ink, which is my channel. And we are getting ready to do some fun fared Arena Cube, which is one of my favorite formats on Arena. When they get it right, sometimes they get a little too wrong, but this one is actually quite good, as I have a previous video I uploaded yesterday um, where I got to play Mono Black. Here, our choice of bomb is Day of Judgment, is actually very powerful in this format. Showdown of the Skalds is also an incredibly good card. I would say that Showdown of the Skalds is probably the most powerful card in this pack overall. There is Strangle, which is a great removal spell. Legion's Landing. Chromatic Orrery, I swear they always shove this in a format, and it's rarely super powerful. We could take it here, but I don't really think I would. I'd probably take Hedron Archive first and hope to wheel the Orrery if I was trying to go down that path. And I mean, I could try the Artifact deck. I don't think it's a bad version, but I do like Day of Judgment quite a bit. I think it's a great first pick. So I'm just thinking to myself, what if I want to do the more powerful play, or try to do the whole artifact synergy? And I am a sucker for artifacts, so let's try it. Let's go for it. Go to the Brown Town. All right, so we got a Golos in this pack, and Elder Gargaroth. I'd say on the power level of the two cards, they're about equal. Uh, However, Gargaroth is always good, where Golos can be extremely overpowered to lackluster. However, we are going to try to do the artifact theme, and if that's the case, then we're going to go with Golos. Fight my gut, say no to the Gargaroth, and move forward. I mean, there's great spells in this pack. You got Timeless Witness, Commit, Shark Typhoon, phenomenal spells. But Golos is just a really strong card, so I'll take it here. Okay. And the reason why I call it an artifact build, it's not an artifact theme. It's just a lot of ramp and just casting ridiculous spells and doing ridiculous plays all in the same deck. And what better card to represent a ridiculous spell with a ton of mana than Banefire? Can't be prevented, can't be countered, ends the game. Let's do it. Alright. Well, Great Henge is a very powerful artifact. Can ramp us. We could take it here. Um, Unholy Heat would. I'm trying to fight the urge not to take Unholy Heat. Uh, there are also the lands which are beneficial. I think the most beneficial one for us would probably be Isolate Chapel. These are also good, but this one tends to be a little bit better in the longer the game goes. But I don't know. You know what? We'll just take the Great Henge and just play to this ridiculous idea that I'm going to just cast stupidly big creatures. So we got double dual lands here. I'll just take Thragtusk because it's a fun card to play with. And hope to wheel one of these duels. I could take one of the duels. Maybe I should. Neither produce what I want. Yeah, we'll take the Thragtusk. And why not? Let's just take another giant green creature. Another big X-Spell to end the game. Let's go. Next pack, hopefully wheel the card that I'm hoping to get. Outside of this, there's Abundant Harvest, which is interesting to take here, but we could also just take a dual land here. I think we're going to just take a dual, preferably the green one here. We didn't get it. Someone took the artifact. Alright, well, if that's the case, I guess I'll just take Gallagrators. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I just take Strangle. I can't believe someone took that. It's so insane. I was going to say nobody takes it because it's not that great, but oh man. But I wasn't going to take past Hedron Hedron Archive is the better of the two cards. I guess I'll take Galligrators. Yeah, I think Galligrators has the most potential for us. We could take Prosperous Innkeeper or Timeless Witness. There's also Devil's Play. Well, all these X spells are kind of interesting to just like do that. Just play like a big mana deck. All right, we'll take Mammoth here. We'll be pretty happy with that. Maybe we don't focus on the Golos. Yeah, Golos might not be a good idea to go with. But we could take a duel here. I think Chain Whirler is pretty good. Surprisingly. Alright, so we did get a Xander's Lounge. But I'm just going to take the Inferno and just go big. Big creatures. Yeah, we'll cut the Golos and cut the land, and we'll just go from here. All of our X spells. Man, I really thought I was going to get that Chromatic Orrery. That would have been insane, but apparently someone really thought it was a good card. I don't think it's that good of a card. I really don't. So I'm a little bummed that somebody took it, but that's alright. We got a Titan of Industry. That's a phenomenal card. There's also Hala and Elena, which is also a phenomenal card. And Professional Facebreaker is also great. Lightning Strike and Explorer. All these are great cards. But I just want another big fatty. And the Titan of Industry does not wheel. They just won't. Okay. I'll take an Oracle of Maldaya. It's a great card. There's also Tin Timber Symbiosis, which would be a fine card to take. Wilt, I would definitely play that in my deck if it wheels. And then there is the Uprising card. This is actually a really good card. But we'll definitely take Oracle here. There's a small chance we don't play the Chain Whirler if we don't get the duels for it. Especially if we don't get the duels for it. Oh, wow. Okay, we'll take Ugin. Cultivate's also really strong. Siege Gang Commander. But, I mean, Ugin. Get in here. Big, giant spells that do insane things. Man, who took my Chromatic Orrery? That's what pisses me off. Why would you take that card, you jerk? Who did it? Who did it? Who do I think did it? Maybe it was Mr. T-Bone. Or could it be Gaunt? Samael. They're probably in green. I'd be surprised, because Elder Gargaroth is such a solid card. Foundy Moldy, Matt, Gold Demon, and then it was Gold Demon. I'll just blame it on the demon. No proof or evidence, just we'll blame it on them. Alright, wow. Layla is good in the more aggressive shells. I don't like her so much in this deck because we have such high top end. But Settle the Wilds will be a great card. We have a 9-drop, an 8-drop, a 7-drop, and a 6-drop. This is a really strong card for our deck. I would have taken Rootbound Crag there, but it's such a good card to play for the late game. I think Pillar of Flame's pretty good here. There's also Ovia, which is a really good card. With the Galligrators especially. I do like this card quite a bit. It just curves really well with our mana, and just start pumping out big creatures. This is a card you have to respect, and I think it's quite good in this meta. Okay, probably gonna just take... Yeah, we'll just take Crawling Barrens and be happy with that. Okay, so there's quite a few cards here. We could take Pack Leader, Shigeki would be fine, Jukin Defends, and then the Visionary. Jukin Defends is actually quite good. It's essentially, if we wanted to take a ramp spell, it's one of these two. And I think Jukin Defends is just slightly better. But I love Pack Leader in a deck that... It's just a solid green creature. Okay, I'm going to go with Jukin Defense. I think this is just a better card than the other one. Harvester's pretty good. Alright, we'll take the Huntmaster. Get another big monster in our deck. Ooh, Explore Wield and Lightning Strike and Professional Facebreaker. They're all really good cards. So let's go with Explore, though. We definitely want to get to the later game parts of our deck. So we have the Symbiosis and we have Wilt. I do think that Wilt is an important card to have. But 10-turn Symbiosis can be pretty insane. I'm going to take the Wilt here, though. I actually do think that that's the better pick. Wow, Cultivate did wheel and Siege King Commander. I'm going to go with Cultivate here. I think Cultivate will make our deck a little bit more consistent. Yeah, we'll take the Balagog Recovery. It's a nice mana land. And then we got the Pillar of Flame as well. Just really outstanding. Okay, wow, that's really good. So there's Paradise, Ornithopter of Paradise, and there is a Vorniclux here. Vorniclux is insane with any Planeswalker we have, and right now we have this, and we have the Great Hinge, which is just great with that card. Alright, so we're going to be looking to get some more ramp cards. Alright, there is... Oh, Vivian Reed is really good. Yeah, I'll take Vivian Reed here. I like that card quite a bit. We have one land fixer, so we will be looking to fix our mana base here. Because we took Vorniclux, I am encouraged to take Garruk here. I do like that. Even though Shatterskull Smashing looks like it'd be pretty good in our deck. But we'll take the Garruk here. We might not even play our red, which is kind of why we played this deck. But our red is looking kind of mild, and our mono green looks but has a high upside. So we could take out these... We could still play those red X spells, but we're definitely not going to run Chain Whirler, especially since we haven't gotten any spells to go along with it. Mono green is a real deck. We could take Dryad of Elysian Grove. We could also take the Domri. Domri makes things uncounterable, which is kind of cool. But I'm gonna take Dryad of Elysian Grove. That can help us get to our late game plays. There is Tenacious Pup has been pretty practical. And then there is also the Hedge Hammer, which I do like. Tenacious Pup is interesting. I think we go with Cold Steel Heart here, though. I do think this is just a better card for our deck. Okay, I will take the Fight spell here. It's the best card in our colors there. Alright, we'll take the Rock Veil. Wow, okay, Glorious Sunrise and the Lair. I like the Lair a lot, although Glorious Sunrise is very strong. We have 2 land spells, so we can afford one more card. Yeah, I'm going to take the Glorious Sunrise. I actually think that we can get that card to play off pretty well for us. And here we'll take some land, I guess. There's a Hydra still in this pack, wow. And there's an Esca's Chariot. I think Voracious Hydra is actually going to play a pretty good role, but there's also Ravenous Pursuit. That would give us, like, multiple fight spells here. I think the Hydra plays a better role in our list. The Bestiary is actually quite good, too. Alright, I'll take the Circummender here. Tenacious Pup did make the round. We could take a Tainted Field, but we'll take the 1-drop. Alright, I think we'll manage to build a pretty solid deck here. I'm pretty sure we still just play... Yeah, I think we're going to go with mono green here. Now we need to cut at least... We want to cut 5 cards. We have Kondu Mammoth and the Balagad, which means that we can play 16 lands. So we're just gonna cut 5 cards. I think Gallagraders is kind of weak in our list. However, it does play well with our Ovaya. Maybe it's not that weak. Hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, this counts as 1.5 lands, or a half a land. It'd be one, so 17. I do think 17 is the right number. I don't want to take out Bestiary or the Sunrise because they both can draw us cards. Vivian Reed's also good. I mean, our top end looks solid. So I'm looking at more like the mid to late. So maybe we just cut Gallagraders for one. I like Wilt because it's a decent card that we can just cantrip into a later spot. And Circuit Mender's probably not necessary. I do like Tenacious Pup, but I like it more in aggressive shell decks. So I'm going to cut these for now so I don't have to look at them. And we just need to cut one more card. Because that'll put us at 16 lands. Yeah. You never know what you're going to play against in this format, but I'm going to cut the pup this time over the crafter because the crafter is interesting. When you get into the late game with these decks, just pumping out tokens that get bigger each time is pretty awesome. And there are a lot of decks that just kind of just grind, and this is a pretty good grindy card. Yeah, I think this is right. So then, oh no, we definitely need to cut a couple more cards actually. Maybe we want to play 17 land plus the 2 land spells just because of Dryad. Maybe that's a mistake. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna cut Wilt, and that's because we have Vivian Reed and Ugin to deal with a lot of problem permanents. The only problem permanent we'll have a hard time against if we cut Wilt is going to be um, the Immortal Sun. So hopefully we don't run against that. We don't have a ton of creatures, so I think Lifecrafter's Bestiary is probably not necessary. And now we can bring back our 2 land cards. And that'll give us a lot of mana to play. Because that gives us technically 18 lands, but 2 of them are spells. Um, and we have between Explore and Dryad will give us more land drops so we can play into our later game cards. With Oracle Maldaya as well, so we have a lot of synergy here. Oracle plus Dryad is also a sick combo when you get to play a heavier land deck. So we shouldn't have land problems so much, and we have a lot of ways to just close out the game into our top end. We have a couple fight spells, but other than that, we're just going to hope to get on board and just stay on board. And everything else seems like it'll work out pretty well for us. So, well, if we keep our fingers crossed, hopefully not play against Immortal Sun, because that'll definitely be a problematic card. As our last video, we did lose to it. But we'll put in our Crawling Barrens, and then we'll just shove in a bunch of Forest in our deck and keep it pretty easy. And we'll use the new Kamigawa lands that we got. Get that up to 16 mana and 1 Crawling Barrens. I think that'll give us an edge. This deck looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it's a 10. I'd probably give it about maybe a 6 out of 10. And that's mainly just because of our early game plays. We really don't have a lot of them. So hopefully, if we do play an aggressive shell, we can get into our turn 3 drops pretty easily and lean into these late game Thragtusks, War Chiefs, and then get into our top end. We do have quite a few cards that can get us there, so hopefully we get there. All right, let's get in. into our round of games and start playing. All right, Tron Jeff. All right, we got an Explorer and a Primal Might, so we have a little bit of interaction. We have some of our late game cards and a Voracious Hydra. Granted, we are missing some other lands to go along with this hand, but we are on the draw, so I'm an optimist, so let's go for it. Alright, so Sentinel's going to give them a card off of our Explorer. The majority of our cards are creatures, so we're probably not going to run into that too often. But I mean, I really don't want to draw them a card, but at this point, I feel like just playing on curve is going to be the most beneficial for us, especially now that we have the Cultivate. So then we can lead on a land and then Cultivate for 2 more lands. And pay the tax from the Sentinel. Yeah, it looks like they have removal up. I mean, we could have gotten blown out there, though, if they had, like, a Mana Tithe. That would make me sad. Okay, we get to prevent this with a Tolvar. They do get to draw a couple more cards. So we can't really take care of the Toski very well, but we can block all these creatures very easily based on our board position. And if they don't take care of our Huntmaster, we get to cast the Great Henge. And right now, they don't have any cards that can really punish us. Like, if they had a Primal Might, they couldn't really kill our biggest creature here. A little worried about that. They can put this on their Sentinel, making our spells tax, giving them more guaranteed draw. I'll probably have to Voracious Hydra this stupid card. Oof. I'll probably jump block. Alright, we drew a land. I think we'll just give them a card here. We play the Great Henge. And I guess we play the Great Henge, they draw a card. Then we have 6 mana. We play Hydra on 4. Fight the Hana Helena. Get that off the board. And then also draw a card. And gain 2 life. I think that's our best play. Yeah, making it to where they don't have haste every turn is huge. Their board state is pretty scary at this point. So it's going to be a slogfest of value. Alright, that's unfortunate. But it's not the end of the world. They have to attack with the Toski. Yeah, sure. Alright, so we got Dryad. I don't need to play the Archive right now. I can just get on board. That might be the best bet. Because if we draw... Yeah. If we draw... Vivian Reed, that'll be a nice card to get. Okay, so we can Vivian Reed this. Granted, they get to draw another card, But then we get our Voracious Hydra back, and I think that's a little bit more important. And we get Vivian Reed on the board, which they're going to be forced to deal with. I mean, we could kill their creature. No. I think this is better. Because now our Life Crafter is going to be really good on this board. Just scaling up creatures. This is typically a game of attrition. Right now, they're still in a pretty good spot. Alright, they're going to kill our Grey Hinge. We did get some value off of it already. And if we get to keep our Vivian in play, we still have a form of card draw, which will be nice. That's a pretty good card. I don't think they've played a land yet. Maybe they attack here. I mean, if they get too aggressive, we'll just kill their board. And that's probably not what they want to do. They're definitely going to attack here. Maybe they throw away a creature to get their thing to flip. Okay. Probably don't want to endanger that. I guess we can trade off a... Yeah, we can endanger a wolf. Start by getting a creature here. No, we get a land. That's fine. Now technically we don't have to cast anything, and we can flip our Huntmaster. We don't have anything that can really block this. I think we want to get this off the board. So maybe we... Yeah, I think we should kill this. This will be a much bigger problem than the rest of their stuff. Because the rest of their cards are just boring creatures that don't really do much. So we can go... Mana... Green... Green... Play our Hedron Archive, pay the tax on it. And then, since we don't have to pay that again, we can just kill the Dryad here. For 1, and then we can pump out a 1/1 next on the end step. I think that's probably right. We just don't want that in play. Oh, I can play 2 land. That's pretty good. Alright, and now we even have the option to draw cards off of our Hedron Archive. I think they're going to pick white. I know green. Well, obviously they can cast something. That's pretty gross. They might just double their counters. Okay, they're going to fight. Alright, not a lot I can do about that. I mean, Pelt Collector seems like a pretty free attack with that. But maybe they're thinking about attacking with other creatures. Just to get our Vivian off the board. Oh. That's kind of a lame attack. Alright, I guess we'll use our opportunity to kill this, and then we just block here. We'll lose our... We either just lose our Grove or two of our Wolves. It's up to them. Okay. And we'll make a token. Alright, we drew a decent card. But we're still going to tick up here. Too bad we didn't have Vorniclex in play. Although Vorniclex plus Inscription is pretty insane. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have... Yeah, I think we go with Vorniclex here over the other card. So Vorniclex doubles the counters on itself right now, and they're tapped out. Granted, they do get a card off their Sentinel. But I am thinking about casting this with Kicker. Because if I cast this with Kicker, I can kill the Voracious Hydra right now, unimpeded. Because this will get double the counters on it. Put twice as many for each kind of those counters, yeah. Yeah, I think I go for it. Or maybe I just attack first. Because maybe they just block it. Yeah. Now I just put counters on it. I mean, I could still fight something with a different card. Yeah, that might actually be even better. We're still gonna kick. Put 2 counters here. And target me. And then we'll fight. We'll have this fight the Sentinel. Just to get it off the board. And then we get to trample over for one more. And now we have a serious threat, and our board is a lot stronger than theirs. Sure. Granted, if they're going to attack here, it looks like they might. They definitely have to attack with a Toski, but they might send a bunch of creatures at our guy. I'll eat their board. Yeah, this is not surprising. I'm surprised they're not swinging with their Cobra, too. Alright, this is a pretty conventional block. Block there. I'll lose my Wolf and block here. Because now we can use our Vivian Reed just to unlock our guy. I'm going to play the Thragtusk here. Because if they do have a Wrath of God, I don't want them... Or an Exile. Like Farewell. I don't want this exiled because I won't get value off of it. And now we can just start pumping out tokens. We can even draw. Okay. Alright, so we will use this to draw two. Now we also have a 3/3 here, which can block their Toski. And we're even not even that far behind, ahead in cards, honestly. Yeah, I don't think we have too many creatures left. All right. We do have Crawling Barons, so we'll just hold it up. And we'll draw a card here. Konzu Mammoth is pretty good. Yeah, we'll play Mammoth here. It's pretty good to have here. Because now, when we get to play additional lands, we'll just start holding these in our hand. So when we draw our Oracle, we'll have additional lands to play. Okay. They play their Thragtusk. Alright. Yeah, Glorious Sunrise is definitely going to give us a huge out against them. Don't love their Thragtusk. Ugin's nice. Ugin might spell the end for our opponent. This time we will take the Oracle. But I think we'll just play... yeah, I guess we'll play Oracle. So we can give this Trample. No, maybe we just have Lethal. Yeah, we make this have 7. Give +1/+1, +1/+1 to Trample. That's 4. So that's be 8 and 12. So that's 12 Trample plus 6 more Trample. Sadly, that won't be enough, but I can shoot their Thragtusk. Which I have no problem doing. And then I'll give my creatures Trample. That way I can attack with my Mammoth unimpeded. And then hold back a few creatures. Because they're going to make another 1/1. At this point, I kind of don't care about my Vivian dying. Alright, so they're preventing 4 this way, which is fine. The fact that they don't have that many attackers now is alright. An Oracle is going to pay dividends, although that's gross. Wow, they have a lot of the same cards we have. Alright, they want to kill my Planeswalkers? Go for it. I mean, that doesn't actually flat out kill my Planeswalkers, so... Sure. I think they're going to regret not attacking. And now we have Ball God Recovery, which is awesome. Ticking this up doesn't really do anything. I don't really think I have any creatures to hit here. Yeah, I have no more spells or lands or anything I can really hit other than 2 forests. I just don't think that's necessary. So I'm going to leave this at 3. think I just kill them. So we go War Chief here. Granted, our barons can't really get very big because of their rider. I bolt their 3/3. And then we go to combat. Give everything +1/+1 and trample. Then we go in for a big smashy. They're still dead on board, I believe, because this is 19 points of damage. No good game from our opponent. Nice. Woo! We got game one. It was a crazy game one, actually. They had a lot of really good cards, and our deck kind of felt a little similar, but they definitely had some cards missing. But I felt like there was a couple attack phases they made mistakes on that they shouldn't have. Played a little too easy. Yeah, this is pretty good. We've got a good one drop that leads into some pretty good upscaling. Oh, I need to play my land first. Sorry, I'm going to have to blow my nose. There you go. My apologies to those who have weak stomachs. Smoldering egg. That's not the sign I wanted to see. I'm going to attack here. I doubt they block. Oh, they just don't care. They do not respect the green at all. That's okay. I'll have to commend them on that. I just knew I wasn't blocking, so way to jump the gun there on that. So we have a couple plays we can make. I think they're going to have removal. They definitely show us that they have spells in their deck. I want to be able to play my Vivian next turn, so I'm considering not playing this and just going into the Hedron Archive. I guess that's what we're doing. Did not mean to cast that. Oh well. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the ass. Alright, Death Touch is fine. I guess we'll take this and go to 11. Alright. I think I'm going to run the risk of this getting hexproof for one more turn. Because I think if we play Garrick here, we can get a Death Toucher. And then we can use the fight mechanic on it. And I think just getting on the board here is nice. Okay, so we got Voracious Pup is actually pretty good on this board. Yeah, so we'll take the Voracious Pup. And now we can if I can kill their egg, that'll be cool. Yeah, they definitely don't have an instant, or they're playing it pretty cool here. I'd rather just get this off the board. I do not want that flipping. And now I have 2 blocks on their creatures. I can trade this and jump here. I mean, if this gets menace, then I can double block. Trample. Trample. Oh, gosh. Alright. Well, I'd rather keep Garrick around, so. Garrick takes 1. But now we can kill Vivian Reed a little bit more safely here. Okay. So we have a couple plays we can make here. We can get Glorious Sunrise out, and when we do, we can then target our forest. And our forest taps for 4 green. Oh, that's not enough. I'm not in love with them having that, but... And we're at 9. Yeah, I guess we just cast this. I guess we can play Thragdust now with our Garrick. So we'll uptick Garrick. Then we can get this on the battlefield. And then we play our guy, gains us 5 life. And now we have a decent creature to trade off of this. Now, our Garrick is in danger if they want to kill it. Okay, so Garrick's dead. Because of Tollbrand. Okay. So they don't have Embercleave. That makes me a little happier. Reach. That is fine. Okay, I'll block. Tollbrand is scary. I do not want that on the board. Vivian can kill this. I think that's what we'll lead to. Because then we have pretty good board state at this point. We'll just draw a card here. And now we can play a land. And now we have a creature generation to trade. 1/1 token for any of these creatures is fine. Plus, then we have abundance to hold up. Just in case they have Embercleave. I hope they don't have Embercleave here. Okay. So they're going to kill Vivian here, so I'm just going to... If they have Embercleave, that's fine. I'll just use my guy to get some value here. Block here, and then block this guy. I guess if we get the land, but we're definitely drawing here. The other land, okay. Alright, so that's pretty interesting. Alright, yeah, we'll play Vorniclex. If I knew I was drawing that, maybe I did something different. There, Faithless Looting. Looks like we've stabilized now. But it's not completely over. They do get to play white, which means they have a slew of options to destroy our board. So this game is definitely not over. So Disfigure, and they pitched the Pyromancer. Alright. So they have to throw away 2 cards, probably a land and okay, and that. Alright, I'm feeling a lot better now about this game. Alright, so we did draw a land. I'm just wondering if I have lethal now. Probably not. We get +1/+1, so that's 5 and 6, so 11 plus 4 is 15. Yeah, we're 1 short of lethal, offering lethal, so I think we'll just smash with these 2 creatures and draw a card. I'll offer the trade on the 3/3, which is fine. Alright. We'll keep all our mana open. That way we can actually pump out a 4/4 this turn. Chandri, well, that's not going to come into play with half as many counters as they need. Because of Vornaclex. Okay. I think we have lethal now. Alright. We got there. I think they saw the writing on the wall. Since we give all our creatures trample and win. Even against that aggro deck. Although their aggro deck was 3 colors. And they easily cast Tollbrand. Yeah, so in this format, if you draft the right mana fixers, you can play some absurd decks. Like one of my decks I had was like 4 colors, but I was playing Invoke, Despair, and I only had like that black spell in my deck. But I had other alternate means to cast it. But I had enough duels to where I could just hard cast it. So sometimes you can just get away with things. Mono green is good in this format. Actually, I think it's probably better than good. That's why I gave it a 6. But mainly, we didn't have the best green card in our 40, which is Kogla. Kogla is by far, I think it's the most powerful green spell in this format. And I know I'm saying a lot there, but it literally does everything. It's the creature version of a planeswalker. It's so insane what that card can do. Kills a creature when it enters. Has the ability to protect itself. Every time it attacks, it wrecks your opponent's artifacts and enchantments. A well-timed Kogla can make or break a game, so it's quite amazing. Alright. So, this is a pretty good opener. Now, I don't really want to play this on turn 1, so I might hold off for 1 turn. We don't have a lot of 2-drops and 1 drop, so I think we can give this a turn. And if we do draw Explorer, we can play it and then play this. Yeah, we didn't get Once Upon a Time, which is pretty good. And the reason why I want to hold off on the Mammoth is that if I can get a Mammoth in on turn 3, and then turn 4 play a land, I can cast the Great Hinge, which is pretty awesome. Oh, they had the Ryu sleeves. That's really sick. I gotta give them a greetings. Oh, blue-green. Very good color combination in this format. Okay, we did not get what we wanted, which is fine. We still have our mana dork. Alright, so they're definitely playing a deep impact deck. The Monzagu, definitely a old-time player or a fan of Legacy. And a fan of Street Fighter, which is sick. Whew. Nice. Alright, so we drew another land here, which will help us on our pursuit to get there. Granted, if they do attack with a Cobra, I think I'll block it. Yeah, that will burn the second mode on this card. But since we drew our land and we have Garruk as our second follow-up play, I think it's quite good. Okay, never mind. That play is gone. No longer is it a good play. Alright. Nice. We drew another land. We'll just go there with it. Now we'll play our Garrick. They could have Counterspell here. Yep. So far, they're playing a very interesting build. Their counter is going to go on their Cobra. So I'm just going to attack. Next turn, we can play Tolvar. The issue with playing Tolvar is it plays right into their Fall of the Imposter. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. What I want to do is draw another creature. That would be really cool. Like one that's more of like a sacrificial land. Like it could be... The best one would be Thragtusk. Thragtusk would be the best one. They get another white here? No, green. Okay. So they don't have the purpose of the double white spells, or at least that's what they're showing us. Oh, they might have Kogla in their list. That could be a reason why they went this route. Okay, they're just beaten down. Alright. Ooh, Voracious Hydra. That is pretty good here. Although I think... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, Voracious Hydra is not the play. I think we're going to just jam this Tolvar. They're just saying, hey, we're playing our giant guy. We have no mana, so we can't pay it, but we'll decline. Yeah, they get our Hunt Master, which was not what I want to do, but I don't really think that not getting 2 wolves out of the deal is fine. So I played it more to the idea that we don't die to the Cobra. And then they're less likely to attack with the Cultivator, and they'll just swing with the Cobra here. Or they'll just play Basilisk Collar. Which is fine, I guess. Yeah, I'll probably just throw a chump here. No, I'll just block like this. I mean, they're not going to burn us out, I don't think. Nice. So now we can just cast the Great Hinge. Which is pretty good. Or we can just cast this for 5 and kill their guy. Which is probably better. Maybe not. Yeah. I mean, they could play... There are cards that they could have in their deck that could really hurt us here. But I think we'll just do this play. Now, if they have Vorniclex, we're kind of boned, but I'll definitely risk a 2 damage to block for 1. Okay, they don't have Vorniclex this turn. They just have Dryad, Elysian Grove, and now they have Frost Dragon as well. Primal Fight's interesting. I am just going to cast this here. And we just say go. Uvenwald Hydra. That is pretty good. Can't really do anything about it. Hopefully they don't have another man land. They didn't. Oh, they do. We could dual block this, but I prevent the damage with Great Hinge, so I'll just take it. So their cave is kind of scary. Now, granted, we can't really kill them. Yeah, we won't be able to kill them. I can just tick up with Lucan, because neither of these have trample. Yeah, I think we just kill the Hydra here. I think that is our best play. Kill the Hydra. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can do it for 8. I really wish I could have gained a bunch of life there, but I will just attack in the air for 10. So whatever they choose to do is going to cost them mana. Alright, we take 3 and we'll double block here. That doesn't do anything. I will explore, because we do need to draw something here. Oh my gosh. That card is insane. You can get rid of their Basilisk Collar and put a giant creature that has reach. Although we could gain life. There's a lot we could do with this, so we're going to play it. It's going to gain a counter from the Great Hinge. Kill that, and I think we're going to gain... I think we gain life here. Decline. I don't have any extra mana. Alright, we got a Thragtusk. I think we can afford to attack. This blocks both of their cards pretty effortlessly. So they're going to need an answer to the Titan. And if whatever their answer is, most likely won't allow them to generate their guy, but we're still not dead on board. Even if they did have an answer and could activate their 7/7. Okay. Now we're just drawing fire. So yeah, we'll go with Thragtusk here. I will take the action, and I'll pay 4. Just to turn our Thragtusk into a massive threat as well. Play my land. Now I can even afford to attack here because I'm at 18 now. It's crazy how this deck can just go from 0 to 60 really fast. Great Hinge does enable a lot of insane things this deck can do. Because now we have onboard lethal. And we didn't have to play our Ugin. I think a lot of people would have jammed Ugin on that board that was all stuffed up and then just forget about the cave and lose. And we did take some risky plays where we didn't double block earlier. But that's just because I really wanted to. I could just net life off of this. And I want to encourage them to play to the board. Alright, not even a good game there. Oof, they must have been frustrated. But the mono green. Mono green is crazy good. It's super powerful. We have a lot of cards that just simulate what a lot of other decks do. But they come at great costs. Like, we have to pay a ton of mana to cast these spells while they simulate, like, things like... like, green wants to be blue for the draw power, but sometimes green just gets gifted insane things, and the Great Hinge is a pretty amazing gift. Like, in that case, you know, but they could have drawn Hullbreaker and then just blew us out. Hullbreaker is very scary in this format. I think that it's not it's just as good as you think it would be. It's even with the fact that you can counterspell it. It's not. That's not where Hullbreaker shines, anyways. Like, Hullbreaker doesn't shine in the mirror matches of control versus control because there's so many answers to it in the control matchups that are not counterspells. I'm going to keep this hand. We have Settle the Wilds to help us get... We can get our Garruk from our deck, which is fine. Alright, they're on mono white, and they didn't have a play. Well, here comes the Spell Pierce. No! Okay, they didn't have it. Then they have the 3-1. They have to have the 3-1 here. Okay, nothing. Well, I don't know if that spells the end for my opponent, but it doesn't look good for them. Yeah, we're going to try to get Oracle value. If we can get play lands off the top of the deck, great. This is fine too, and then we'll just play the Sage here. They could Dave Judgment. Okay, just the Prisoner card. Although they don't know about our Vivian Reed. I mean, okay, I'm not going to play Balagag, I don't think, here. Although I don't really need to turn this off right now, so we can do something else. Yeah, I'd rather keep the Balagag. I'm just thinking of the plays we could make. Yeah, you know what? I will play it. I just want to get on board. Yeah, we'll let their Soldier the Watch attack. Granted, they do get to kill our guy, but we'll trade the Oracle at this point. We have so many other plays we can make now. I just don't see a point not to. And we want to encourage them to remove this. Okay. Man, Voracious Hydra's insane. But so is Vorniclex. I love Vorniclex with so many of our cards that we have in our hand. But we're just going to play the Titan. The greatest Titan of all. Or if we play... Actually, if we play Vorniclex, we'll be one shy of being able to cast this. Yep, we'll Titan of Industry here. Destroy their History of Benelia and put a 4/4 into play. That seems pretty insane. We'll just say go. Well, so we go Great Hinge here. I think we'll start with that. Play the Vorniclex. Good old Lexi. We'll take Tolvar. It's a big threat. And now we can pump out a token. We could swing with so much damage here. Granted, we're probably opening ourselves up to, like... How many counters does the Wanderer come with? Wanderer it would be an absolute trade, so I don't want that. So I guess we just attack here. I mean, if they have the Wanderer, I'm fine with it. Oh, they're cheering us on. Seal away. That's fine. Probably should seal away our token. Mistakes were made. I don't know why it does that. It just lights up. Sure. Double shield counter. Oh man, this draw's insane. Granted, they're probably just gonna make a token here. I really don't want to lose to that. So I will play the Garrick. And then we will... Dang. Ooh, nice. I'll take that. I draw a million cards. Oof. Can we cast this and that? Yeah. I mean, Farewell will totally blow us out here, but... I don't care. I'll make this thing, and then I can make that into... And I'll just make a guy. And we will attack with our 1/1. Get in there. I just don't want to lose to... Like, maybe we'll lose to the Wanderer, but who cares? I just know that we're set up now to win next turn. And that's just better for us. Yeah, you get no counters. Oopsie. Yeah. I give him the oops. That was... Might be considered rude. It was not intended that way, but that could definitely be seen that way. Ooh, nice. We got more unlocked value. All the value. So little time. Alright, we're playing against Amoy Nipo? Anopipo? I don't know if that's accurate. This is a good hand. For our deck, at least. We have the Dryad into potentially just a draw spell. But we have multiple lands to play with our Dryad. And then we get to have Balagad Recovery as a regrowth, which is kind of neat. Nice. We have a big play to play into it, so all is looking well. Especially when our opponents just do nothing for 2 turns. Lick us. Restoration of a Ganjo. Nice. Man, if I could guarantee myself drawing a land next turn, I would just jam that Explore. Or, if I knew I was going to draw an untapped land, I would definitely play the Explorer there. And we would have. We would have too. So, I'll just play the Archive. They're going to draw a card most likely. And then we'll just play our defense here. I doubt they have an instant speed thing that deals with this if we attack with it. So, we'll hit for 2 and pass. Yeah. Dryad of Elysian Grove. When I saw this card and they spoiled it, I was like, this is money. And I was right. I wish I had money to really throw out Magic at the time. I definitely would have embarked on that. Alright. My imagination, I'm going to put them on having Counterspell here. So I guess I'll lead on the Explore. Ooh, nice. Settle. Settle is good. Settle is really good. Yeah, I guess we'll start with settling. Nice. And now we can play Mammoth. I mean, if they have removal here, I'll allow them to use it. Yeah. Chart a course. 2 mana, draw 2 cards. Pretty good. Mystery Benelia. And their deck is auto-filtering the blue opening here. I really just want to play this. Granted, if it gets countered, it makes me sad. But maybe they let it resolve because reasons. Yeah, I'll take the action here. I'll pay the full 3. They could bounce it to our hand, that's fine. Boom. Alright, we got there. So if they had the counterspell, we could just Balagog recovery our Vorniclux back to our hand. But this prevents history next turn. It prevents their Crawling Barons and any other counters they could possibly have. Neuters most Planeswalkers. And then, yeah, just... Vorniclux is just an insane card. Right now, this is a roundhouse kick to the face. And possible stun them into having to deal with it. Because this is definitely not lethal with what we have in play. Yeah, it even neuters Legislator. I mean, yeah, look at that. They're going to filter. If they don't pitch a land here, they lose a counter on their Shredder. They can't put counters on their guy. Elspeth's just a 2 loyalty. Yeah, Vorniclux is a... Maybe this is the card in green that should be cut. I don't know. People love Vorniclux. I mean, this is hilarious. Our opponent's not being able to do anything, but only because this card's insane. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, the roundhouse kick to the face for 12 into just this insane... Oh, man. Our next turn was going to be disgusting. I wish they would have passed and gave us a chance to cast our Tolvar or Tolorvian and put 3 creatures in play, pay 1 for each creature, give them all +2/+2, and then make our guy becomes a an Egyptian god card. Yeah. Oh man, it was disgusting. There's so many disgusting things happening. All right, we're 5-0 with mono green. Mono green is proving its weight in gold. I mean, we're not even like we've played against some aggressively costed decks, but nothing too insane. So we're in the area where we're going to see a lot more of the consistently aggressive shells. So we're more likely going to run up against things that are 5-0, probably like mono red aggro or red white aggro or mono white aggro. And then there are black red mono black lists that are pretty aggressive. Or some insane control decks. So, you know, I may have rated this deck at a 6 out of 10, but, you know, sometimes our opponents can have weak draws. And we might not have the people right now who are regularly playing the Arena Cube, so we'll be playing against people who are just, you know, figuring it out. I mean, that's why we're doing the videos. It's to help people see what they can do and the potential and stuff. This format is supposed to be for fun and excitement. Wow, this hand is pretty damn good. I will say that. Double fixer, early game fixers. We're definitely going to play Cold Steel Heart first. Yeah, see, here we go. The mono white aggro draw. Like, even if they just go land attack, make him 1/1, it's still going to make me sweat. Granted, we drew an Oracle. Cold Steel Heart into Oracle. Man, it's pretty nuts. Diodara. Alright. Where are you? We're going to give them a hello. Okay, they're there. They're just thinking about their play. Yep. I mean, I prefer this to a 2/1, but still. The only risk here is that if they go like Skyclave Apparition right here and take away our Cold Steel Heart, that'll kind of set us back. But if they don't, we get to go Oracle into a definite extra land play, but even a land off the top would be fine. And we don't necessarily need to play Oracle. We could just jam Garrick, tick down, and make like a 2-4 Vigilance. Or, let's see, yeah, 2-4 Vigilance, which would be insane on this board. Yeah, Garrick drafting the pack and putting it on the battlefield is 1,000 times better. Okay, now they just go Benelia. That's pretty nuts. Okay, so we have a Workshop War Chief. We could play this, reduce its cost, or we could just get on the board. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of answers. And if they jammed all their creatures into this, and then we can play War Chief, and yeah, I think this will take an answer from their hand, which is just pretty strong here. Voracious Pup is pretty good. I think that's the pick, because that'll give us 2 blockers and kind of make them play a weird way. Because this can take out one of their knights and block the Fallen, and Garrick takes 1. And if they play a removal, they got to play on the token, which is probably fair. But if their goal is to attack Garrick, it's whatever. Every turn Garrick lives and soaks up damage for us is kind of where we want to be at, because the closer we just get to casting these with a high life total will make us more likely to win the game. Although History of Benelia is going to pop off and do a lot of damage with these guys. So they might be in a position where they don't have an answer, and attacking our Garrick is just not a good cost. And if they want the Garrick off the board and they have a removal spell, they're still going to have to point everything at Garrick because of our pup. Yep. All right. Wow. Impressive. I'll definitely trade here. And the difference between Garrick being at 1 and 3 is kind of big. Yeah, this is fine. Garrick eats a creature? That's insane. Alright, Blade Splicer, that's really good. Vorniclex. If only we could get that out a little... Oh, we can get it out, actually. We could play Vorniclex and the history doesn't take off. But we might as well, if we were going to do that, we might as well do that to the Huntmaster. I think Huntmaster's better here. So we'll do that with Huntmaster. Now we just play a 7/7 that makes 2 2/2s. It's pretty good on this board, because it even blocks the token really well. Interesting. Now Bounty kills the Garrick, which is fine. That's 4 damage not at our face, and and trading the Bounty for Garrick isn't what I want to do, but it is what it is. Because Bounty could definitely play a big role in this game in the parts where you're getting a creature combat, but this is gravy. I'll take this all day. They have no other good attacks. Yeah, this isn't looking good for them. Here we can just cultivate and just kind of play to the board. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Cultivate, land, play our land. We can even cast our card. Wow. And that puts us in Ugin range. We're a singular land away from casting Ugin and just wrecking the board. Minus, they still get to have their 3/3. That's fine. So their first record can get through, but we get to eat their creatures, which I'm not against at all. We gain 3 life, so reverse damage their turn. And then we put a War Chief in play. Doesn't necessarily trade with this, but we can eat there. I'm not 100% what I want to do. Really don't want to take this. And now we can play Ugin pretty freely, and we just put counters on our guy. Oh, we can play Hinge here. Oh, this is disgusting. I mean, maybe we're just going to play this so we can forego drawing lands every turn. Play a land. And we can get our enchantment out. That's disgusting. Although I don't want to play Jugan Defense because I know I have Ugin. Definitely swing. Although I still think this is a fine enough play. Because this puts 2 counters on these guys. And we can block. This just tempts them into playing more to the board. Yeah, Monument, we can't really counter that. That's fine. That's 12 damage. I mean, they're dead, right? Yeah, I think they're just dead when we play this. Yeah. Because then we could just wipe out their tokens if we wanted to. I don't think there's a way for me to kill them that turn, but it was pretty close. Yeah, so we were able to beat the aggro deck, but we did have the draw for it, so... and our deck can play pretty well with that. I might have to reevaluate my rating on this list afterwards, depending on if we go 7-0 or not. Because it did play really well against the control decks that we played against. Our round 3 opponent, I think it was, that was playing the Bant list. I feel like they played a really good game of Magic. But they just fell short of just the card quality versus mine. And that's where I say the monocolor decks in this format are actually quite strong. I think mono red lacks a little bit. Even though they have Embercleave, if you just look at the baseline of mono red, there's just a lot of cards that just don't get there. But when you put Embercleave in the red-green shells, red-green is, in my opinion, the best color combination for aggro in this format. Now, I didn't mention that earlier when I was ranting about the types of decks we could be playing against in this format. But red-green is really, really nuts. My best finish in this Arena Cube was, I think I went 7-0 playing green-red and I went from I don't even think I think the draft took longer than the actual than the actual games, and I'm being dead serious. It's just that's how ridiculous that deck was. I would say that list specifically was just insane. This hand is a little weird, not quite what I'm looking for, but I don't hate it, especially since we're on the play. All right, Requisitioner, that's pretty good. I really don't want to trade with this. And I put this out here, it becomes a 2-3, which is actually not terrible. And since I have so many other plays I want to play after this, I actually think I'm just going to play the Hydra as a 2-3. Because this is actually decent. Not against this. We could have just traded if we wanted to, but I really didn't want that. And getting removal out of their hand is actually good. Because it limits their ability to play. So here we can play Oracle and probably get another removal out of their hand. Especially if we're just ripping land off the top. So Strangle would have been a better target for this. Now this attacks... They get Strike. I'll just take it. We have other cards we can play here, especially like land. So huge what we just did there. And now we can, yeah, we're setting up to do a lot here. We can just play Explore. And now we have a fight spell on top of our deck. We go here, gain 3 life. We can just play Garrick. There's also Jugan that defends, which I think is the play, because we can play the Archive into Jugan. I mean, we're not going to attack, because that doesn't seem like it would be a good play. But this can trade for this. Or even just chump here and, you know, whatever we need to do. Their Lightning Bolt's gone forever. Lightning Strike. Okay, Glorybringer. So we're probably going to have to block. Because they kill our Oracle here. No questions asked. And then we trade for their 3-1. Nice. And they played their land already. So we don't have to worry about Din. Now we're pretty low on life here. Not what I want to see. Zero. Okay, so we know they can't attack with the Glorybringer, but they could definitely get us in a weird spot. So, I think we play Garrick. Make a token. Or a creature. Hopefully we get the 2-4 with Vigilance. I think that's the best one. 3-4 with Vigilance, not what I was looking for. Because whatever we get will die. I could play the Death Toucher. These are not the creatures I was hoping to get. I mean, technically this has Vigilance. They won't be able to attack with their Glorybringer, so we just say go here. So they get to attack with their Blade Reforged. We'll block it. They know what we're holding. Yeah, we're just going to go for it. I mean, if they have the lethal, they have lethal. We're just dead. And we're going to fight their Glorybringer because we can't really block it right now. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll take out this. I mean, that's what will happen. They kill our guy. Oh, well. Alright, we got lucky. I mean, we need a little luck. Their draw was pretty spicy. Alright, Garrett goes down by 1. We go down by 1. They could have Stomp here. Although Stomp would make no sense. Okay. Now, granted, we are leaving our out to... Ugin would be gross here. Elysian Grove is not the card. We do get a flyer, which is nice. Alright, so we can pay 1, 2. Get back our Hydra, play it. I think that's the play. Yeah, we get the Hydra here. And now we can kill the Glorybringer. Which is pretty nice. I think, though... Oh, we'll start by doing the Garrick first. Based on the board state... I think we just want another creature in play, which will be fine. We'll say 0. Now, if they have Fatal Push here, I'd say 0. I'd be surprised if they have Fatal Push. But they definitely could have an answer to this. But I'd be surprised if they did. Like, where was this? Oh, okay. Spike Field Hazard. That's fine. So Whirler is pretty bad for us. So I'm definitely blocking here. I'm going to block both. Interesting. So we have a couple plays we can make here. We could draw for with the archive. I think maybe that's where we start. Okay. I think we tick up with Garrick and we can get both of these into play. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to get this in. No, okay. Let me put my land. Or I can get Glorious Sunrise into play and the other two cards. I think we'll go with the Glorious Sunrise play. Because then we can play our hand. We go to combat. Make this have that. We get to play you. Play our other creature. And our land. So they grow there. I'm going to block the Chain Whirler. I mean, if they have Embercleave, we're dead, right? Because they go boom, 4. They didn't have Embercleave last turn. The likeliness of them having it this turn is low. Not low, but still unlikely. I mean, if they have a burn spell at all, we just die. So I guess we'll just block. Yeah, it looks like they're just drawing lands. Okay. Alright, now we can just build something with Garrick. We have plenty of lands, so we'll make that into a 4/4. And we'll gain life. We could draw. Yeah, I think we gain life, because then it balances this out. I mean, if you're going to make that attack, you might as well swing with everything, right? Decline, and then we do it again. This time, that way we don't lose to like a bolt. That way they can't kill any of our guys after this. Because they only have 2 damage. So one goes at the Garrick, the other's coming at us. Makes sense. It's pretty good. So give us a good attacker. Granted, I think we're going to gain life, so... Yeah, I think we're going to draw. No, we should gain life. Because an X-Spell can really get us here. No attacks. Play our guy. And we'll play our land this time. That way we can still grow our barons. And then we're set up to win next turn, which is good. Weird. We got there! Hooray! I think they realized they were dead next turn. Oh man, we went 7-0. You look at that. Fantastic. I had my doubts, but we did it. Look at that, 7-0. Let's just gaze at this list one more time. Saw kind of where we were at with the deck and what we ended up going with. So we did play our first pick, which was a Hedron Archive, and it was quite stellar most games. And then we didn't get to play our second pick, which was Golos. But our deck would have been insane if we took the other card, which was Elder Gargaroth. So we mistake one, I guess. But we were shooting for a different deck that just didn't happen. And I'm kind of glad it didn't. We get to showcase mono green, and it's so much more enjoyable. And our deck was very strong, and with a lot of really cool key components. I think overall, our deck should be probably more around a 7, maybe an 8. But 9 or 10 is just... didn't have all the all-star green cards that really make this deck shine, but had a lot of really cool mechanics. Overall, this deck looked really great. It performed very well. The Thragtusk and the War Chief were clutches in many of the games that we were able to win, not to mention Titan of Industry. So we had three creatures that gained a lot of life when they entered, with Great Henge also teaming up a lot of life gain. This deck simulates like a really cool card advantage while also maintaining the ability to beat down, but definitely a mid to late game deck, thanks to Ugin and Forniclex being maybe a little too overpowered. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.